So I found this awesome Levi's denim jacket at Goodwill for about $5 a while ago. And it was great quality, it's a good brand, retails for a lot of money, but there was one big problem. What is this? This patch says do not disturb, but it's a heart. It's very confusing. If that's your style, that is great, but it's not mine. And I figured that's probably why it was left in Goodwill, because I'm not going to wear the jacket like that. So I decided to fix it. We're going to make the ultimate patchwork reworked denim jacket with just some old clothes lying around the house. Let's get started. So I had another denim jacket lying around the house that I clearly wasn't wearing because I made it for Mardi Gras 2 years ago. I loved that jacket, but the truth is I hot glued those beads on there, so it didn't age very well. The beads were starting to fall off, but the hot glue was definitely not falling off. That was not going anywhere, so I knew I needed to cut it up and make it into something new. So to get rid of that patch, the first thing I did was take a sheet of tissue paper and trace out just that section of the jacket to get a pattern for the denim that I would be replacing it with. Once I had that, I simply cut out that same size from the back of my other denim jacket. I pinned that piece under the patched area of the jacket, and then I sewed all around all of the edges to attach it to the underside of the jacket. This proves nothing goes smoothly. The first time I just sewed the sleeve to the front of the jacket. Real cute, huh? And once that was secure, I took a pair of scissors and, being very careful to cut only through the top layer of the jacket, I cut a hole in it and continued cutting until I had the original panel completely removed so you could just see the new patchwork denim showing from under. And when I was doing this, I realized I got very lucky because these two jackets were almost the exact same size. So I decided that I could use pieces from the old jacket onto this new jacket to make it a little bit bigger. So what I'm doing here is just cutting off the waistband from the old jacket about 2 inches above the band. Then I'm going to take that piece and pin it directly under my main jacket's band and sew along that edge to attach it to the jacket. I now have a longer denim jacket that's just slightly two-toned in patchwork. I felt I needed to balance out the front with a little bit more patchwork so it wasn't just on one side, so I actually pulled out my denim scrap pile and I found 2 old jean pockets. I used a seam ripper to remove these pockets from the original pants, and then I sewed the 2 pockets together. Before I put it on the jacket, I used a seam ripper to remove the original little pocket just to cut down any excess bulk on the finished product, and then I sewed the new pockets into that same place. Now you could totally stop here, but after I was rummaging through that scrap pile, I was hit with some inspiration to use up a little bit more of the stuff that was just lying around the house, so we're going crazy. This huge pile of denim scraps comes from a lot of projects, some failed, some successful. Projects like this one and this one. You can see those tutorials down below after you watch this video. I'm gonna put the links in the description box. So with my scraps, I decided, let's get a little artistic. Let's use the pieces that I really didn't have any plans for. So here's what I did. I just started picking out random scraps, and then I would try to preserve the finished seams, and I also unpicked some of the hems too, just to expose some of the contrast dyeing and just get a bunch of different types of crazy pieces from shirts, pieces from pockets, everything. And once I had built up this enormous pile of scraps, I just started sewing. I just started top stitching things on. I would take a piece, put it on, sew it in a couple different places. If I was using something that had a pre-existing seam, instead of sewing through the thick seam, what I would do is actually trim that piece so there was a little bit of excess, and then I would actually sew it onto the jacket on that excess instead of the seam. Then I would put another piece over that to cover up the stitches that I just made. So it was kind of like a layered effect where it was a lot easier to sew than if I was trying to sew through all of those layers and like that really heavy duty thick things that could have potentially broken my needle. So after I felt good about my design, all I did was just take a scissors and kind of roughly trim them so they were about the same shape, just so there was some kind of organized chaos going on. And after that, I was feeling good. My jacket's done. Here is the finished product. Here's a crazy fact for you. It takes 2,600 gallons of water just to make one pair of jeans. 2,600 gallons of water. That is equivalent to, let's do the numbers here, 61 bathtubs full of water are used just to make one single pair of denim jeans. So if you have a pair that you're not using anymore, definitely think about how you can reuse it instead of just throwing it away and sending it straight to the landfill. Let me know in the comments what you think about the finished piece, if this is something you would be willing to try, and if you enjoyed this tutorial, please hit the like button for me and consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't. I do all sorts of tutorials here, a lot about how to upcycle your clothes. I am so excited about this project. I hope you guys are inspired to try something similar, and I want to thank you so much for watching this video today, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.